This is a quick recording regarding Program 8. I just want to show you what's available for you to work on. This is really a critical assignment because it pretty much culminates what we've been trying to do all semester, and that is to get you to think of programs in terms of components and making decisions about what components you need to use to solve a particular problem. And in addition to selecting components, you must know how to use components based upon their description. And a description includes a narrative description plus the headers or the prototypes that indicate the protocol for calling functions that you may want to use. So let's take a look at the assignment. And assignment 8. All right. And we basically are going to redo program 4, basically. And instead of having a class that has an array as a private variable, we're going to use a class, vARRAYclass, that implements an array as a vector. You're going to be provided quite a number of files that are useful to you. You're given a .h file. You're given a key program that executes program 8 as a complete key to this program. And then you're given object files. One object file is a full implementation of the class that you must write. The other is a full implementation of the main program you must write. Why am I giving you these? Well, there's 3 ways to complete this assignment. One way is to try to work on the class implementation and just write that code. Then work on the main program implementation and try to pull those together, and then test the main program, and in the process test your class implementation. Another way is for you to pick one. Say I want to work on just the class implementation, and I will use the main program object file really to test the class implementation, so that you don't have to worry about the main as you're working on the class. And of course you can do it in opposite order. You can go and write the main and use the key object file for the class. And that way you're separating 2 different things and you can kind of focus on one thing. And a 4th way, of course, is to try to do each one in parallel. And that may be overwhelming to you. So I suggest that you focus on one. It could be that the main program is the easiest thing to do, because in it you've got to decide how to call functions and that member functions of the class. And calling functions typically is probably easier than writing them. So if you do the class implementation last, it may be easier for you. And I've provided some tools to help you. You can at any time run the program key to see how your program is supposed to act, and use that as a yardstick. All right. Okay. So let's take a look at one more thing we want to look at is the algorithm that you must implement. If you look at this, you will see that it looks like program 4. But I've added a couple things, not many. On step 4, I've added the fact that you must write the C array, that you add A and B together, and then you go look for values in the C array. If you find it, you delete it. I want you to give me a before and after snapshot of the C array. So before you start searching the array, you're going to save it to a file called CArray1, When you're all done making all the modifications, you're going to save it a second time to a second file. And if you have the algorithm solved pretty much for program 4, there's not too many changes you have to make, except you must remember that the member functions of vArray class are probably different than the ones you had in the other class. Okay, I think with that I'm just going to I am going to stop here. One last thing I need to say is I've kind of extended the time for you, not so that you can stall or delay, but so you have time to systematically work and get this working. I would like to say that if you can't get this program done, you should not pass this class. To me, it's that serious. So you really need to buckle down and get past this class. The next class is going to be full of writing code and doing stuff. And there are some things, if you master in this class, it will make the next class much easier. With that, I'm gone.